Hunting the Bismarck, a chance to strike. Epic History TV Part 3. There's no TV, but oh well. If you want to go see extended versions of this stuff, extra stuff, bonus content, head over to our Patreon. That link's in the description box down below. But let's jump straight into this one.
With the hood sunk.
I'll have it playing out through the fucking...
And the Prince of Wales damaged.
Audio, where are you?
Nothing stands between the Bismarck and the Atlantic. But this is only the beginning of the Royal Navy's misfortunes.
The beginning, and let's see where we're gonna go.
This episode is sponsored by Wargaming. Download World of Warships and use the code EXTRA1 for free goodies. Link in the description.
Go, guys.
The 24th of May, 1440 hours. Admiral Tovey's flagship, King George V. The Battle of the Denmark Strait has not only been a disaster for British morale, but it's presented a tactical problem. Bismarck and Prinz Eugen are loose in the Atlantic. Worse, the only ships close enough to engage the Germans are no match for those battleships. Instead of intercepting Bismarck, Admiral Tovey's home fleet is now chasing her south. But thanks to the cruisers and their radar, they at least know where the Bismarck is, and reconnaissance planes have reported a large oil slick following the vessel. It seems that one of the Prince of Wales's shells wounded the beast, but it hasn't slowed her. If Tovey hopes to catch up to Bismarck, he has to cause her further damage. He orders his aircraft carrier Victorious to steam ahead of him. She's a faster ship, and with luck she can get her swordfish torpedo bombers within range of the enemy before dark. 1839 hours. The Prince of Wales and a squadron of cruisers have been shadowing Bismarck and Prinz Eugen with their forward radar when one of the cruiser's lookouts spots something in the haze. Suddenly, Bismarck cuts through the fog bank and opens up with her guns.
Oh shit.
The cruiser
Bismarck's
quickly
seen them
turns
first.
and flees into the fog. A mile behind it, the Prince of Wales fires a salvo. Battle seems imminent, but the Bismarck breaks off and continues north. When the cruiser reacquires Bismarck, its captain notices that there's only one ship on radar now, not two. The attack was a bluff, a ploy to break radar contact so Prinz Eugen could detach and slip away. They've lost one prize. 2300 hours on the aircraft carrier Victorious. 9 swordfish torpedo bombers lift off the pitching deck. They are not fit for this mission. The pilots are inexperienced, the aircraft are biplanes with bodies made of metal struts and stretched fabric. They carry only 1 torpedo each, and their top speed is only 138 miles per hour. But they are the only solution available. The squadron reaches the target area and sees a ship below. Then these rookie pilots begin an attack run that could change history. They dive low, 100 feet above the waves, and line up to create a bank of torpedoes that will be hard to thread. But the ship's anti-aircraft batteries aren't opening fire, and this ship seems a little small to be Bismarck. Flak lashes past the squadron. It's coming from a different ship, 10 miles distant. That's Bismarck. The swordfish pull out of their attack run and climb into the clouds, glimpsing the U.S. Coast Guard ensigns flying from the ship they'd nearly just sunk. U.S.-UK relations are saved, but they've lost the element of surprise. The squadron drives...
So they nearly sunk
A
one of
US
ours.
ship. We nearly sunk a US ship.
Drives towards the Bismarck in a storm of anti-aircraft fire. Tracer rounds zip past. The great 15-inch guns fire into the sea, creating walls of water 100 feet high. Flak rips the bottom out of one plane, while another swordfish hits a pillar of spray and nearly stalls. But all the things that make swordfish obsolete also make them a perfect weapon in this case. Modern anti-aircraft batteries are designed to target faster planes, and the swordfish's low speed makes them easy to maneuver. Their cloth skins and frames are so fragile that shells smash right through without detonating. The swordfish loose their torpedoes.
That's pretty fucking decent.
That's useful because the anti-flak weaponry explodes on impact. I believe.
Yeah, but because it's so shit, it just goes through it.
Bismarck slowly swerves, trying to thread the gap between the tin fish. It succeeds twice, but as the swordfish buzz away, they see a bright flash and a gush of water amidships, right on the thick armor belt. Likely no damage. 25th of May, 01:15 hours. Under
all for
orders to
nothing,
engage,
yeah.
the Prince of Wales fires on Bismarck at extreme range, but the weather cuts visibility to nothing. The cruiser squadron resumes shadowing the Bismarck by radar, zigzagging to throw off the U-boats that Admiralty warns are in the area. During these evasive maneuvers, they lose and reacquire Bismarck every 20 minutes. At
Okay.
0306 hours, the lead cruiser has the Bismarck on radar and then turns away. When they turn back at 0330 hours, the Bismarck is gone. They search, but in vain. After
Okay.
shadowing her for 32 hours and 1,000 miles, they've lost their quarry. 0600 hours on the King George V, 3 hours since last contact. When Tovey learns that the cruisers have lost Bismarck, he goes to his charts. The oil slick reported behind Bismarck suggests that the ship is damaged, in which case, he reasons, it would try to return to port either in Norway or occupied France. But if Bismarck isn't badly damaged, it could link up with an oil tanker, refuel, and play havoc with supply convoys. This scares Tovey. His ships are already low on fuel, and if the search continues too long, they're gonna have to return home. If Bismarck finds a tanker, she could simply wait them out. He orders several of his cruisers, battleships, and the Victorious to refuel in Iceland. It'll
Sorry,
mean
guys.
he's short-handed
That's going to be annoying if that keeps happening.
in the meantime, but he'll have the option for a long-term search. If it comes down to it, he has the battleship Rodney in intercept position, just in case Bismarck heads for the French coast. 0930 hours at Bletchley Park. 6.5 hours have passed since last contact. Every day is a race for the code breakers at Bletchley Park. The settings for German Enigma code machines change every day, and every
Also, I rewatched the World War II thing back. You guys are fucking idiots. The Enigma machine is not the machine that the British guy used to break the German code. The Enigma machine is the fucking machine that the Germans used to make their code. So that thing we found, that little fucking small thing,
Right, so
is
you're
the...
also the fucking idiot as well.
No, because I said that it was the Enigma machine, and you was like, oh no, it's massive, it's massive.
Let's have a quick look.
And then you guys tried to convince me that it was a massive one, but it's not.
Enigma machine is a clipper device, but okay. But that's what I was under the impression of. What was the one that Alan Turing had?
I don't know, but I also said it in the beginning of the video that I cut it out of the edited version, but the Enigma machine is the German machine.
9.
Sorry, we don't know how much of this is going to go in, but I like proving Jack wrong, because I'm a petty person like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me and Jack have a challenge on the first company, and then after we go here, we're making our the video doesn't have to pay for the first. Now we have to find any cultural role in the Battle of Britain, then the V2 rocket, the German weaponry during World War II, the Enigma machine, which obviously the Germans used to encrypt their codes.
Yeah, I was under
Then
the
we need to-
impression it was the big one that Alan Turing had.
It's all good. Anyway, back to this.
I see you. You haven't liked the video yet. Why not? Go on, go like it. While you're at it, you know you want to subscribe. And if you want to go to our social medias, all the links you need are in the description box down below. And you might as well head over to our Patreon as well, where you can get extra bonus content if you're enjoying this. That link's in the description box down below. But we'll get straight back into the video. Love you guys.
change again. Hut 4, the computer that deals with German naval signals, is trying to sort through a mountain of intercepts to find where Bismarck is headed. But the Bismarck isn't the only German vessel in the Atlantic, and because the naval version of the Enigma has 5 rotors instead of 4, actual decryptions will take a week to come through. In the absence of translations, the analysts try to identify Bismarck's signals by the electronic fingerprint of its transmitter and the typing style of the ship's Morse operator. If they find a signal that matches, they triangulate its position. The evidence is mixed. One triangulated signal seems headed for France, but other possible hits indicate Norway. But one analyst notices that the broadcasts being sent to the Bismarck have changed origin points. Until noon the previous day, signals to the Bismarck originated at a station in Germany, but now they're coming from Paris. This suggests that Bismarck has traveled out of the German station's range and is headed for France. They decide to trust the French signal. They broadcast the raw data to Tovey, whose destroyers can triangulate the signals with their own equipment.
Nice.
10:47 hours on the King George
Mate,
V.
the
7.5
technology warfare that
hours
was
since
going
last
on during this
contact.
period of time was
Tovey
massive.
reviews the raw data indicating France, but in triangulating it, he makes a
don't know either,
mathematical
Jack.
error. According to his map, the Bismarck is headed north toward Norway. He orders all ships to search north of the Bismarck's last known position. 1,200 hours at the Admiralty, 9 hours since last contact. 200 feet below the Admiralty building in London, analysts are hotly debating the Bismarck's position. They are under pressure to deliver. Churchill is livid that the Bismarck has escaped. He's already requested that Captain Leach be court-martialed for breaking off his attack after the sinking of Hood. The public,
Whoop.
the media, and Parliament are pressing him for updates. But the best the analysts can do is make an educated guess.
He did have a fuck you policy. Oh, Winston.
Yeah.
Get it done or fuck you.
Over the morning, they send signals that they believe Bismarck is headed for France, but they order destroyers and cruisers to guard the passages around Iceland just in case. They try to cover their bases, stripping supply and troop convoys to dangerous levels. 1,700 hours at Bletchley Park. By now, 14 hours have passed since last contact. At Hut 6, a team of German-speaking women type intercepted messages into Enigma replicas and prioritize the decrypted results. They've been briefed to look for anything related to the Bismarck. One decoder sees the word Bresse and freezes. It's a message sent from a Luftwaffe Enigma machine. The sender is a general asking whether his son, a sailor on Bismarck, has survived the battle with Hood. The reply is that all aboard Bismarck are safe and headed for Bresse, France.
Okay.
She shoots a hand up. I have something interesting. 1810 hours at the Admiralty.
Yeah.
15 hours since last contact. Signals go out to Admiral Tovey's flagship, the King George V. Determination-hardened Bismarck headed for Bresse. Tovey has been sailing in the wrong direction for hours. The Admiralty orders land-based reconnaissance flights on all approaches to Bresse. Nobody at sea or on land will sleep tonight. The 26th of May, 10:35 hours. At PBY Catalina Patrol, 31 hours since last contact. Catalina flying boats, obtained from America via Lend-Lease, have been scouring the ocean since dawn. But in closely guarded secret, the pilot of one particular aircraft is also American, one of several U.S. Navy officers sent to train the British. Through a break in the clouds, the Catalina pilot sees an unidentified battleship 700 miles west-northwest of Bresse. It's leaking oil. The ship's anti-aircraft guns erupt in a mountain of fire, shaking the Catalina. As the pilot banks and climbs...
Bismarck is shoot to kill on sight. I don't care who it is.
The second you see anything, you just fucking unload and make sure you fucking kill them.
If they haven't told us they're flying over us, they're not ours.
Yeah.
Get them
It's
gone.
a fucking good idea. It's
Like,
a great
it is
tactic.
literally just, brother, we're leaking oil, we're getting out. I don't care who it is, you fire.
Imagine if they weren't leaking oil.
Ah, brother, then it'd be okay. They would have been lost because the oil is what has been a big factor for them finding it as well.
The British co-pilot runs aft to transmit their discovery. Every ship on patrol drives straight for the Bismarck, but fuel is critical. If they make full speed, they may run out of petrol and have to break off, but if they slow, they might lose her. And catching her is crucial. By the next day, Bismarck will be safely in range of Luftwaffe air cover. The Royal Navy can't simultaneously battle Bismarck and fight off waves of bombers. The only
it's gonna
ship
be too
close enough to
difficult.
strike a blow is the aircraft carrier Ark Royal. She speeds ahead to strike range. 1,500 hours. 15 swordfish launch from the Ark Royal. The situation is dire. There's only time for 2 sorties before dark. New magnetic torpedoes sit beneath their planes' bellies. The crews have been briefed that Bismarck is the only ship in the sector. An hour later, they begin their attack run. 1610
magnets.
hours.
So that's
Under
the only
orders
thing they
from
can be
Force
attracted
H,
to.
the British cruiser
I
Sheffield
get that,
has
but
rushed
the Bismarck's
ahead.
just got solid hull, so I know you're getting. If you've got a better chance of getting direct hits with a magnetic tip. Will it do damage though?
I think that's why they're going for the submarine version, so they're sort of trying to go onto the bottom bit, the weaker parts of the ship.
Okay, yeah.
I think, because they're torpedo bombs, aren't they? So they go in and then go through the
They drop
water.
into the water. Yeah. Okay.
To shadow Bismarck by radar. They've just acquired her when the lookouts hear aircraft engines. The Swordfish flight bears down on them in an attack run. The HMS Sheffield's captain orders full speed and turns toward the planes, hoping to thread the torpedoes. 4 of the Swordfish realize their mistake and break off, but 11 release their payload. By a stroke of pure luck, the new torpedoes are faulty. 6 detonate on contact with the water, leaving the Sheffield only 5 to weave through. And she
That's
So
so
they've dropped
funny.
it on the wrong ship.
And they're so shit that it hasn't worked.
Most
What,
of them haven't worked.
what's going to happen when they go after the actual Bismarck? That's my
It's
question.
a fucking good training run, I'll give them that.
Yeah, but if the fucking missiles don't work again, what's the fucking point?
Just
She
start
makes
doing the
it, but
Japanese style,
barely.
like, shall I
Returning to the Ark Royal,
drive
the
straight into it.
demoralized pilots refuel and rearm for another run. They had 2 chances to damage Bismarck, and they just lost one of them by attacking their own ship. Join us
Shit.
next time for
But they
one
weren't told
last
it was the only
attempt
ship
to
in the
stop
area, it
the
was
largest
Bismarck.
warship
That
on
is
Earth.
true. That is true. That is true. If you haven't already, head over to Extra History's page. That link's in the description box down below. They make amazing content. If you enjoyed our reaction, looking forward to future reactions, early reactions, bonus content, head over to our Patreon. That link's in the description box down below. If you enjoyed this one, you know what you need to do. You need to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next video.
See you in a second.